All right, I'm going to go ahead and get us started, just sort of in the interest of time. Some of our representatives from the animal pad will be joining shortly. I'm watching as people are joining, so pardon me if I seem a little like I'm looking around. Hello, I'm Meredith Tollison. I am co-director of the Animal Communication Collective. We're so thrilled to be here with so many of you tonight who support the Animal Pad and other animal welfare organizations. We are happy to have you here. The Animal Communication Collective is a group of, it's a women-led organization. It's a group of professional friends and colleagues. We're all professional animal communicators. We all do this as a thing in our lives. And what we decided to do was come together to offer our gifts and our skills and our talents to serve animal welfare organizations, rescues and shelters, to help them raise funds. We know that this is a huge need in the world right now. Obviously, all of us are here because we care a lot about the welfare of animals. And so we're excited that you came together with us this evening. We want to go ahead and let you know, and I think that you saw this information when you purchased your ticket or when you got your Zoom link this afternoon. This event is being recorded. If you are not comfortable being recorded, having a reading, let us know that. We will always ask anyone before we proceed if you're comfortable having a reading. If you're not, feel free to say no. If you have your camera and or your microphone on, we will take that as an inherent permission for you to participate in this recording. If you are not comfortable with that, please feel free to turn your camera off, but please know that by doing that, you will not be selected for a reading while we're here this evening. We will also have an opportunity. Let's see who's coming in. Jody, stop me if we need to. Most of you know that we've been able to sell raffle tickets. Each of the members of our team have donated a half-hour reading for anyone who's purchased a ticket for this event, or has purchased raffle tickets for that. We will have an opportunity after about the second or third reading tonight for you to continue to purchase raffle tickets. At that time, we will close down the purchases. But if you're still interested, if you like what you see after the first one or two readings, please go, Jody will post in the chat, go and purchase another raffle ticket, and maybe you'll get selected for a reading. We're so excited to be here with you tonight. We're honored to have the opportunity to continue to work with organizations like the Animal Pad, and we look forward to getting started. Have any of the Animal Pad folks been able to get here?
Yes, Lauren and Karina are both here.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to stop talking for a second and let those guys introduce themselves and what it is this organization does.
So I'll jump in. Hey, everybody, I'm Lauren.
Hey,
I'm
Lauren.
the executive director here. Hi, guys. I'm the executive director here at TAP. A lot of you already know what we do, which we're super grateful for the support, but just as, you know, a little bit of a refresher, we rescue dogs, pretty much any dog that needs us really, but lots of dogs from Mexico, also from high kill shelters, also owner surrenders anywhere in like Southern California. So lots and lots of dogs. Being completely donation based, events like this are so important to us because this is how we function. So we're super grateful to all the ladies with ACC who helped put this together, and it's been awesome getting to know you guys. And I'm just super excited for tonight. But yeah, we're all donation based, and everything that is happening tonight, your ticket sales, your raffle sales, all of that money is coming back to the dogs. So we're just super grateful for everyone to be here, and this is going to be super fun. And in talking to you guys, I'm really excited just to let other people experience what you guys have kind of brought to us. And it's just been really fun. So thanks for being here. And yeah, raffle tickets, we will keep going with them. I'm going to be doing the raffle at the end, and Karina might hop on, but Karina's actually going through some car trouble right now. So she is on the side of the road waiting for a tow truck and has been for hours. So she was not expecting that. So a little bump in the road, literally and figuratively, but we're going to get through it. We're totally fine. I'm going to be taking over the raffle. So be gracious with me because I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to figure it out as this is all going on, and we'll be good to go. And the important thing is obviously all the money going to the dogs, and then you guys having the opportunity to win some cool prizes. So I'm going to figure it out, but thanks for bearing with me. And we're just excited to have everybody here. I don't know if Karina wants to or can hop on just to say something, but if not, I covered it.
Awesome. Karina, are you out there? You want us just to roll on?
I'm here. I'm not looking pretty from the camping, so I'm not turning on my video. But yeah, sitting here waiting for AAA. They didn't send the right kind of tow truck. And so now I just called and they still don't have one on the way. So my phone's going to die soon, unfortunately. Carrie's very disappointed. She's up there crying right now. She was going to do the raffle, my guinea pig.
We love her.
We'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
We'll have
Thank
to do
you,
it again
Lauren.
so she can get her time, her 15 minutes of fame for sure.
Absolutely.
thank you
She's
so
ready
much,
for her
Lauren.
close up. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Karina.
Awesome, Karina. Good luck to you. We're sending you all sorts of good love and good juju and good energy so you get off the side of the road. In the meantime, we're going to continue doing what we do in the hopes that we will be supporting the animals that you guys serve. Thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity. Okay, let's see. Should we go ahead and make our introductions, ACC team? Okay. So as I said, I'm Meredith Tollison. I'm co-director of the ACC, Animal Communication Collective. I am in Tupelo, Mississippi. That's one of the beautiful things about this world that we're living in. One of the pieces of gold that came out of all of the changes in the world that we're living in is that we have the technology where this group of women could come together from all over the country and even all over the world to come together to do these things. I am a business owner and entrepreneur. I am an animal communicator. I am a soul level intuitive coach. I also have training in Reiki for animals. And I am a certified dog trainer. These are all things that I do out of my passion on the side, out of the things that I do in my all day, everyday, daily life. And I love working with this group of women doing the work that we're doing. Thank you for inviting us to be here this evening. Julie Heert.
Hi, I'm Julie Heert. I too am a certified soul level animal communicator and, as Meredith, a soul level intuitive coach. I am usually in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but right now I am in Anchorage, Alaska, even though it's not showing. The Chugach Mountains are behind me. I love it here. And in addition to all that work, I'm also in the process of exploring and writing about animal communication and how it really opens up our own spirituality and connects us to the divine. So I wanted to share that. And I'm looking forward to tonight. It's going to be fun.
Thank you, Julie. Heather Tuller, tell us about you.
Yes, I'm Heather Tuller and I live in Washington State. And besides animal communication, I do a little Reiki, emotion code, things like that on the side, not professionally. I have some great life experiences that I think really help me with this job, such as I used to work in a nursing home. So I am very comfortable with working with people and their animals when they are getting older or getting close to passing or have passed. And I'm very passionate about it, actually. And also helping people. The animals love to help their people with their own perfectionist issues. So I love working with that because that's something I work with myself my whole life. So I'm very, those are my favorite things to do with animal communication. So it's very fun and passionate. So yeah.
Yay, thank you, Heather. I'm so glad you're with us tonight. Louise.
Hello, everyone. I'm Louise McQueen, and I live in Western Massachusetts, where the foliage this year has been absolutely breathtaking. And in addition to being a soul level animal communicator, I also am a Reiki master teacher. And I became interested in animal communication while I was giving Reiki to rescue animals. So rescues are very dear to my heart, and I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. And I was in Western Mass last weekend, and you're absolutely right. The foliage is amazing. I lived up there for many, many years, and I was glad to have a visit last weekend and glad I got to see what I got to see. Thank you. And Jody Jacobs, our amazing ACC ambassador. Give us a little intro for yourself.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Jody Jacobs. I am not a professional animal communicator, but I am their ambassador, which means I reach out to animal rescues and sanctuaries like the Animal Pad to see if they want to do an event with us. And I'm so excited about tonight's event. I hope everyone has a great time and has a lot of fun. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jody. Julie, would you mind giving us just a little background, a little information about what it is and how we do it, and also what we're looking for as we do these readings this evening?
I'd love to. So animal communication is also known as, can also be called pet psychics. We are connecting with your animal's spirit, whether they are alive, actually in body currently, or in spirit. And what that actually means is we're connecting to greater consciousness. We're setting our intention to talk to your animal. And so what we receive from that higher consciousness, energetic field, if anybody's read the field or watched What the Bleep Do We Know, it's the same type of things. There's quantum physics. We don't need to go into that anyway, but that's what we're doing. We're actually psychically or energetically connecting with your animal with our intent. Again, your animal tonight can be alive, currently in body, or they can be in spirit or have passed away, crossed the rainbow bridge. Doesn't matter. All of us can connect to them. So feel free to put, well, your animals are already going to signal to us as to which ones really want to talk. So we will be choosing from all of you, if your cameras are on, we'll be choosing intuitively, meaning that we're getting drawn to you somehow. It's most likely your animal raising their paw. If it's a chicken, their chicken foot. But they're trying to reach us so that we can talk with you and share their messages with you while we're here. So when we are drawn to you, we will actually call your name. Make sure, like Meredith had said earlier, that you are comfortable having an animal communication reading. And what we will ask you for is your animal's name, your animal's species, so dog, cat, chicken, llama, whatever you want, male or female, and whether they are alive or in spirit. We don't want any other information than that, because we want to be able to hear from the animal, their personality, which we'll share with you, and then you'll have the opportunity to ask a question of your animal, and we'll share what we received from that. And that's how tonight will go. Did I cover everything, Meredith, or did I miss anything? I think I got it.
I think you got it all.
Okay.
I think you got it all. So I guess let's move on to what we came here for, huh?
Yeah.
I would love to step up and select the first person. This first reading. So we have a question in the chat. What if you have multiple animals? So we ask you if you would love to have a reading tonight. Select the animal that first pops into your head. Don't think too much about it. Don't try and decide. The animal that wants to come forward is going to come forward for us. And what you're going to find is that even if you're not the one receiving the reading, you're going to get a lot of information that really resonates with you. It's amazing how this happens. We're reading an animal and you're going to go, oh my God, they're talking to me. We all receive information differently and we all read differently. And that's part of the beauty of an event like this. We'll be reading in pairs. We'll be alternating our pairs, but you'll have a different experience depending on who's reading because of the way that we read. But it's all going to be relevant to a lesson, an experience, something that you need to hear tonight. We have never found that to not be the case. It's always come through that way. Would you ladies agree with me?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty amazing how it happens that way. So we are going to select intuitively who receives a reading. We will always ask you if you're comfortable. If you are, great. If you're not, please just tell us so and we'll move on to the next person. So we've all spent enough time on Zoom in the last couple of years where, you know, if you've got your cursor up on Zoom, it looks like a little Mickey Mouse hand. So as I was moving my little Mickey Mouse hand out of my way as we were introducing, it kept landing on someone's face. So I feel that that's a pretty good sign from the universe that that's where we need to start. I don't know if it's Karen or Karen, but my Mickey Mouse hand is on your face. I'm petting your face right now.
It's Karen.
Karen?
Yes.
Okay. Karen, are you comfortable with having a reading from Julie and me this evening?
Sure. I have 2 pets that have been crawling all over me, so.
Okay. Well, here's what we would like to know from you. We would like to know if you're not sure which one, let's close our eyes, let's take a breath and see which one pops into your head. Do you feel like you need to do that, or is it pretty clear who's trying to step forward?
I think I know which one, because one of them just left. So
Okay.
yeah, one of them went in the other room just now.
So all we need is name, gender, species, alive, or in spirit. And I'm feeling very much in spirit if they're crawling all over you.
Well, it's a cat. It's a male. He is alive, and his name is Charles.
And my pen doesn't work. We don't take a ton of notes, but I do like to jot some things down. We will give you a moment. Karen, I have to practice that because we have a friend whose name is spelled like yours, but we call her Karen.
Okay.
So pardon me if I say it wrong. Okay, so you have a cat. Your cat's name?
Charles.
Charles. So he is male and he is alive.
Yep. Yes.
All right. Julie, you ready?
Yeah. I'm laughing because he's already here.
All right. It sounds like you're jumping right in. So why don't you lead us out of here?
Okay. So I will tell you, Karen, that I typically don't see the animal, like how they represent themselves physically. I get more sense of their energy and personality. So as I am connecting in with Charles, I don't know if you remember Morris the cat from back in the day. A cat, he was the spokesperson for a certain kind of cat food, and he had an attitude in that he felt very sure of himself and that he was also smarter than everybody else in the room. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yes. And this movement, yes, I very much know more than everybody else here. And that way of talking, that is him. So if that makes sense. And not that he may talk to you, but that's how he feels to me.
That's how he looks at the dogs sometimes. He'll sit there on the couch and just kind of look at them and wave his arms around.
Yeah.
So I agree with Julie. Morris the cat to Julie, but given the current circumstances in the world, he's very much Prince Charles now / King Charles to me. He's presenting himself as regal, as royal, as you understand that I've waited. Here's what I'm hearing. So, think about Prince Charles. How long has he waited to actually step into this role? He's been training for this his whole life. And so Kitty Cat Charles is showing me I've known what I'm supposed to do forever, for my entire life. And now I finally have an opportunity to help you understand what it is that I'm here to do. It feels like maybe there's been, I'm feeling this in my body. I receive information in a lot of different ways. I'm feeling in my body right now that there's been some sort of transition in his life recently, whether it's a change in animals in your home or a change of your actual home or a change of position. It doesn't really matter what it is, but he's showing me that something has shifted and that he is stepping into his power. Does that make sense to you?
I could see that maybe.
Okay.
We're expecting our first baby. So he's been very clingy towards me when he used to be more towards my husband.
Yeah, that feels like a little bit of a shift or transition in his life. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Julie, anything else about the personality that you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was interesting when you were talking about the transition, because as you were talking about that, I all of a sudden felt very settled but grounded. And I hear him say, my role is to help keep you, Karen, grounded.
Okay.
That when things are kind of chaotic is how he's showing me, like I'm sitting here as Charles, and over here I see a little swirling of something energetically, and he's just like, and he like almost, he takes it and he's just like, and now we sit and we take deep breaths, and I feel very much, I feel really solid too in my body. Like I'm just really sitting firmly on the ground. That whole grounding idea is how he keeps coming, is how he's coming through to me as well. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I can see. Yeah.
I'm hearing him say like, not a whole lot of drama. I'm not bringing any drama. In fact, I hear him like, he's like, as I sit here and I see little drama, little bubbles, he's just like grabbing them and like bursting them and getting them out of the way. Like, we do not have drama. We don't have time, is what I hear him say for drama.
I can see that. Yeah.
Okay.
I love the concept of drama bubbles that you can just pull out of the air and pop and sling them all over. So as he came into me as King Charles, you think about, new children being born into this lineage, and he's like, but I'm still the next in line. And that's what the kind of personality that I'm feeling from him, the kitty, is things are changing, but don't forget my position.
Yeah.
Don't forget my position. It's not in a threatening way. It's not it's just like, this is what I've been. This is what I've always been. And this is what I will continue to be.
Mhm.
But I'm also hearing the words benevolent monarch. So he has no issue with the new baby coming, but he's like, just remember my position.
Mhm.
That feels very much like his personality. Julie,
Yeah,
does
I
that
can
feel
see that.
complete to you? Are you ready for a question?
Yeah, the only thing I just add is that there's like a teacher or an educator aspect to it, that there's something he wants to do, if that makes sense, for you and your to be born child. So
Okay.
Yep.
I can see
yes,
that.
now go ahead, Meredith.
And congratulations, by the way.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, he's sitting here right now and he's just looking at me like, yeah, you got that.
He's like
yes.
this.
I sent a picture to Lauren just now of the way he's sitting. Like, he knows exactly what we're doing.
I hope that you'll share that with us at some point.
I will.
So do you have a question you would like to ask of Charles?
I mean, I guess it's not really a question. We were talking about whether or not we need to move his bed out of our room. So I guess we're not doing that. I think that's his fact of saying I'm not leaving. I think the biggest thing is he happy in general? Like, Charles is a lot older. I don't know if I should be giving that many details.
We'll give you a
But-
chance to give us a little bit more of that information,
Okay.
but let us sort of collaborate here real quickly and see what the question is that you'd like to ask him.
Okay.
Julie, it sounds like Karen is asking. Well, I don't know, Karen. Ask it again.
So my question is he happy? Like, is he comfortable? Is he happy? Do we need to change anything for him in the house right now, or is he good?
Okay, so Karen, the question that we would like to ask of Charles, Julie, help me with this, is there anything, we like to make it sort of an open-ended question so that they have the opportunity to share information with us rather than a yes or a no. So
Yeah.
what is it that Charles would like to share with us about how he feels about his home,
I was going to even say current state of affairs. Like how do you feel with the current state of affairs? Because I feel like that can include home. I'm intending home, food, bed. How does that feel, Meredith?
attention, that could be all of the above. So how do you feel with the current state of affairs?
Mm-hmm.
That feels good to me. Karen, does that feel good to you?
That feels good. Yeah, that answers kind of the way that I was thinking of with happiness, because he's had so many changes in the past year.
Okay.
So when I connect in immediately with Charles, what I see is him jumping on a trampoline, and I'm literally hearing the words boing, boing, boing. He's showing me that he feels in his body, in his soul, in his spirit, that there's been a lot of like springing, like a lot of having to pull his energy back in. There's a lot of things going on, and he's feeling very spread out, and he's trying to pull that back in for himself to feel more secure. The words boing, boing, boing. It's like everything's moving so quickly, everything's happening, and he feels like he's bouncing off the ceiling. I'm actually seeing what is that sport? Racquetball, where you're in that room and you're hitting that ball and it's bouncing off all over the walls, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm ducking, I'm dodging, I'm ducking," and sometimes I'm hitting it back, but yeah, it feels very intense and very busy and very fast moving. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
And it's kind of making me sweat a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that. We've been doing a lot of renovations, and he hates new people in his space. So he gets really upset when contractors come over. We've had to put him on anxiety medicine for that, and a couple of other things.
Okay, so that makes sense to me. Julie, what
I
are
was
you
getting
getting
something
from-
really similar in that the symbols that I was getting. Well, first I saw the sun come out, particularly over the mountain. So I felt very much like trying to climb up this mountain and getting to the top where there's a lot of scree and like loose rock. But at the same time, I can see the end in sight, and I can see like I said, the sun coming up over the mountain. I also feel from him that he's feeling, so when I see him looking at you in particular, and there is from your direction, nervous energy, it feels like anxiety. It feels like a little nervousness. It feels like a little, there's not uncertainty, just like an unsettledness. But there's just like this interesting energy coming towards him. And he's just, he's aware of it, is what I hear him say. He's aware of it, and he's trying to be by your side, I hear him say, so that he provides it's almost like he wants to like come right up onto the side of my left leg and like put his weight on it, almost like a weighted blanket, so that it's like, yes, I know you're there, or he knows you're there, he's there, so that he can provide some type of grounding or comfort. But that's how he's feeling to me, that he knows, I hear him say, I know it's almost at the end, all the things in this grounding, but he's also at the same time feeling a little excitement, energetic, maybe anxiety type of energy coming from you, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's ask Charles if there's anything else he wants to add.
I suddenly felt hungry.
Yeah, he's always hungry.
I got like all of a sudden, like boom, right in my stomach, of this feeling of being really hungry.
I feel a little hungry myself, but the main thing I feel was like I could see him putting hands on top of you and like pushing your energy down.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel it on your shoulders, Julie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like on your head. If you're doing renovations, et cetera, you've probably got a whole lot of nervous energy going on too. There are people in your home and they're doing these things and all of this is happening and there's money to be put out and blah, blah, blah. And there are a lot of energies that are sort of coming together, and I see them swirling around like the Tasmanian devil. And he's kind of sitting behind you going, all right, mama, let's bring it down a little bit. Does any of that make sense to you?
Yeah, I can see that. We have a very, very busy household. Like we have 2 dogs. My husband's in and out all the time with the Navy. We've got a lot going on, and he's usually kind of, I guess, my go-to when things are stressful, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the first one to pop up next to me.
I can literally see these huge hands. Like, look, if I put my hands way up here, they're way bigger than they are attached to my body. I can see these huge hands, and he's like, he's trying to bring your energy into a stable environment.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add to that, Julie?
The only thing I'll add is that I hear him say, when he's again, to me, he's on the left side of my left thigh and pushing up against me, or at least so I can feel pressure in a good way. And I hear him say, when I do that, or when I'm near you, he wants you to just touch him, use him for comfort. I hear him say grounding rod, like, is it like a lightning kind of rod? Like, let him take that from you. and let him give you comfort in that regard, I hear him say.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Karen.
Thank you, guys. I sent some pictures to Lauren, so hopefully she can share them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We would love that. We always love seeing pictures. We like seeing them after the fact. We don't like to have too much information going in because we want
Yeah.
to be certain that the information we're getting is from the animal, that we're not being influenced by anything else that you're sharing. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, I'd like to disconnect from Charles and from Karen's energy. And then Julie, I'm going to hand it off to you, and you and Heather can take the next one.
All right, awesome. So Heather, I keep being pulled to Natalie Perez if she's interested in having a reading tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet, awesome, okay. Can you tell us the name of your animal first?
Yeah, his name is Foster.
Foster, okay. And clearly a male?
Yeah,
Okay, what type of dog, what type of species?
dog.
Yes. Cool, and is Foster alive or in spirit?
He's alive.
Okay, cool. All right.
He just stood
Heather?
up too. I had a feeling you guys were gonna call me because he's been laying next to me and he just stood up.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Every time I would like scan the group, but I kept coming right to you. So I'm like, okay, clearly
Oh.
Foster is trying to get a hold of us. All right, Heather, are you ready?
Sure. All right.
Okay. So we're gonna first connect in with Foster and get a sense of his personality. And I'll say, Heather, really quickly, what I immediately see is, and again, I don't see them as really, most of the time, I don't really see them as they physically are. I see him though as a black and white dog, but this is why, because he's also wearing a tuxedo and he has a top hat and he's got a cane and he's doing this whole dance. He's on his hind legs and he's doing this whole dance, but he's doing like a top hat. And and I hear like cha-cha-cha, kind of like just very much a showman is how it feels to me, very much front and center, and so excited to be here, if that makes sense to you, Natalie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's black and white.
Oh, cool. Cool. Heather, what are you getting?
I actually got, I usually get a type of dog in relation to how I feel about that breed. It just goes with, they try to touch on my feelings. I did not get a black and white dog. I got a very, actually it's kind of like an Irish wolfhound, but he was exaggerated. Like they have, they're the biggest dogs, long legs, but then his legs started stretching out like really long legs. I don't know what that means, but I love those dogs because they are so loving, and I want to always I put my hands on him all the time emotionally. That's how I feel about this dog. And he's putting that out there. He wants me. He wants me to just like love on him. And he's like, give me the love. I want it. I deserve it. And not in I don't feel like in a conceited way, but just a very gentle and loving way. And yeah, emotionally, I just feel just really happy to be here. It's very calming. It's a little bit calming to me too. So it's interesting that he's the excited energy from Julie, but I also feel this, it's like stability, calmness. Those dogs represent they're huge. They're physically huge if you've ever pet an Irish wolfhound, but it's just, that's my dream dog. I want that dog, by the way, but does that make sense at all to you?
Yeah, it really does. He has like moments, spurts of energy, but he really is like our big lover, and he generally is the calmer one. But I think the appearance with the black and white and the tuxedo makes so much sense because he's obviously looks that way.
Yeah.
But his personality for sure is much more like what you described, Heather.
So as Heather was talking too, I felt very much, I heard him say like, I'm up for anything. I will do whatever we want to do. We want to go for a walk. We want to go to the park. We want to go hang out. We want to sit on the couch, whatever you want to do. And I also heard him say, and I felt really strongly, like right through my sternum, loyalty. I hear him say he's very, very loyal, to you and whoever else is in the household, but there is this sense of he's singing it almost as like, anywhere you can go, I will go with you, even though that's a completely different song, but that's how he's saying it. And I just feel this strong loyalty. And it's almost like, not that he's looking like up to you, like, oh my God, mom, like you're great. There is that, but there's also just this, he appreciates that you treat him with respect and almost equal footing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. Heather, anything else?
Yeah, while you were speaking, I actually saw, I don't know what it is with his limbs, but now his limbs are stretching in a kind of cartoon sort of way, but he's going around. I don't see ever specific faces. I just see a family standing together, and I see his arms, if he had real arms, going around, stretching around every single person in that family. And like, I want to cry because I just feel like protection, and it's protection and not like a dog protecting, but there's just a lot of unconditional love. I'm encircling these people. It's protection, but it's not like a typical, like a guard dog protection. It's a love, spiritual, energetic. I don't know if that makes sense to you as well. And it actually made me want to cry. So.
Oh, so special. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And do you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, we adopted him as an adult. So I guess similar to Karen, like, I just want to make sure that he's happy and see where he's at with things now that he's been with us for a couple years.
Okay.
So Heather, if we phrase the question the same way we did for Charles, how do you feel, Foster, about the current state of affairs?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Nice question too.
Yeah. All right, let's see what Foster has to say. I actually feel, and I'll be curious too what Heather feels, I just feel like a big sense of relief in that, like, I see him do this, like, and like, oh God, it's about time. And I hear him say, like, I feel like I found my people and I found my tribe, is what I hear him say. Like, I found the group of people I'm supposed to be with. And I finally get to fulfill, I hear him say, I finally get to fulfill my mission, if that so far makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does.
Heather, what are you getting?
Yeah, as soon as you asked that question, as soon as I tuned in, typical big, sweet dog puppy eyes looking up at you guys, his family, you guys. Big, sappy puppy dog eyes. And I mean, it's just, if it was, just full of love, full of, yeah, I mean, when you love that dog or that dog loves you, when they're staring at you like that with complete 100% love, and it just melts your heart. That's exactly what I'm seeing. And I know that that's the answer. It's like, there's nothing like exactly what Julie said. She said it. What did you say? Like, I'm there. Mm-hmm. I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm asking him just to tell us a little bit more about how he feels about the current state of affairs. It's interesting to me because one thing is, like, I keep wanting to swallow. Like, I feel like all of a sudden my salivary glands, is that these things, I need to swallow a little bit more. I don't necessarily feel hungry, but it feels more like, oh, I know something good is going to come my way. And so he's already getting ready to have like a dinner time. Yeah. The other thing was, I hear him asking for a little bit more outside time with you.
My God. I was talking to my boyfriend about this right before you guys right before we started, and I was like, Foster's gonna say that we have to walk him more because we are at home all the time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
jerk.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I hear it say it, he loves to go outside and he loves to, I see him like loving to like nose in the air, love sniffing all the things like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It smells so good out here. There's also an aspect of it of getting you guys outside. Like that's
Yeah.
part of his job is to get you guys outside.
Oh.
And that's where he really wants to do that more, even if you feel like you do it more than enough. I don't know if you do, but that's what he's.
No, we don't. I've actually
Okay.
been sick the last week, so he's been in bed with me for a whole week. So we're probably very ready for some outside time.
Okay, cool. Heather, what are you getting?
We're on the same page because the first thing when I asked to go deeper with that question, when you did, he puts his paw on Natalie's hand and he says, now I just got to work with Natalie. Actually, he said work on Natalie. And then I saw him kind of softly, but checking out the room, kind of pacing, circling the room, checking out everything in the room, circling, which is, it wasn't like a neurotic, I need to go outside, but it was kind of, like the pent up energy. I'm looking at everything, I'm trying to figure it out, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not the worst I've ever felt, definitely not even close, but yeah. Does that make sense to you, Natalie? You said exactly what I got. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So funny.
It's
Cool.
funny you're very intuitive with your dog, then that means you already knew.
I mean, I was half joking, but like, yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah. Did that answer your question? Is there anything else?
If I have the option, I'd love to know how he feels about his sister, our other dog. I'm just curious about their dynamic, if he has any feelings about her. I don't know if I
I
can
just hear really quickly. Yeah, just being cognizant of time. I just hear really quickly love.
Oh, good. Okay.
That's what Heather. Yeah, Heather's nodding.
I felt just love for them. I didn't feel that sibling rivalry that I sometimes feel.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a very, well, from what I'm feeling working with him today, it's like all about the ooey gooey loves with him.
That sounds
geez.
very right on point.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thanks
Thanks,
so
Natalie.
much.
Yeah, thanks for sharing Foster with us. All right, Heather, up to you.
Oh, geez. Okay, so I'm going to work with Louise today. And let's see. It's actually Victoria. Are you interested?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, okay, Victoria. What animal would you like us to talk to today?
My dog, Banjo, and he's a male.
I love that name.
How do you spell that? What's the name?
Banjo,
Oh,
Banjo.
Banjo. Okay, thank you.
And alive is
He is, yeah. He's sitting right in front of me.
Okay.
I love that name. Okay.
I did too.
Okay. Give us a minute here to connect and let's see.
Okay, if I jump in, Heather, I'm getting
for it.
right away. So Banjo is coming into my energetic space with this real, almost, I think he's aptly named, with like this real boingy, energetic kind of spirit. Really just all kinds of beautiful energy coming from him, just really exuberance. Does that make sense, Victoria?
Oh yeah, he's a total spaz. We love him. He's all over.
That's what I thought. Yeah. He was dancing. It's like his name is appropriate. He was just dancing and he was just wearing his little scarf and he's just like, I feel like all eyes are on me as they should be. And I'm pretty, I don't know, I feel emotionally, I'm just a happy guy. And Yes, everybody should be looking at me, honestly. They should be, because I'm fun. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, his brother is a newfie and he's always competing with him for attention because all eyes are usually on his brother. So that makes sense that Banjo would feel like all eyes should be on him.
Okay, yep. So do you have a question, Victoria?
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
I'm sorry, I
I
forgot. Go
just
ahead.
wanted to add one more thing about his personality, because while you were talking, Heather, he was kind of pulling everyone in with him. He was kind of dancing around the room and pulling everyone in with him, like really wanting to engage the room. Does that make sense? He wants everyone else to feel as happy and have as much fun as he's having.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Aw.
All right.
I think our question is, so we didn't get him as a puppy. We got him when he was a little bit older. And sometimes we call it freak out mode because we're really not quite sure what's going on, but almost out of nowhere, he kind of like freezes and he'll just look around and start shaking. We could just be sitting on the couch doing nothing. Or like he'll come into our room and start looking around and start shaking, almost like he's terrified. And we're kind of just seeing like what's going on, if it's like something from his past or if there's like something.
Well, hold on. Don't give us what you think the answer is.
Sorry.
Because sometimes you're right, actually. People are more intuitive with their animals than they think. So yeah, but keep that thought. So Louise, so these specific freakouts or anxiety or panic, we can just ask maybe open-ended. What do you think, Louise? Like,
Yeah, maybe
what is
just
this?
say what's going on for you when you freeze and start to shake.
Mhm.
Work.
Yeah, and let him explain it and keep it very open. And then we can go in more detailed later if that, after that. So, okay,
That works, Victoria? Is that okay?
what's that?
Is that okay, Victoria? The way we ask it like that? Okay. All right.
All right. My ears, I start hearing. Right. Yeah. So what? So, pardon me. I started, but I heard I kind of jumped in and it's something he can hear things you may or may not be able to hear. I feel like it's a download, like he's just telling me. I don't hear it, but he said hearing, and humans aren't going to always hear it, right? Doesn't always understand. Terrified, doesn't understand what that sound is. I heard lack of stability, and I have a knowing from a previous life. But so it's kind of weird. All of a sudden, I'm actually feeling like I'm feeling in my body like sporadic. So I'm talking sporadically. I apologize for that, but it's kind of like I'm just feeling what I'm getting, like a knowing and the feelings at the same time. It's like choppy. I feel so I'm not feeling like I'm one with the flow, right? I'm a little chop energetic wise. It's emotional, feels energetic also, but he instantly said, I saw his ears and he said sounds, I don't know what these are, and I'm having a freak out over that. Does that make sense to you at all? But the problem is, pardon me, is he's also saying that you may not hear that because you're human, right? Because we don't hear as well as our dogs, so.
Good. Okay.
Go ahead, Louise, I'm sorry.
That's fine. very similar. And not only is he hearing, he's seeing things that he is convinced that you don't see. And because you don't see them, because you're human, he worries about that a little bit. So he is seeing things also that they're not earthly. These are spirity kind of things that he's seeing, and he's concerned that you don't see them.
I see them, buddy. I smell them. I smell. Yeah, I smell them. So already.
So that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. And let me just, do we have, well, we're actually at, let's see. Is there anything you want to say real quick, Banjo, about how we could help? Excuse me, about how your family could help you with that? I'm seeing, you know, grounding, right? You're familiar with grounding, Victoria? Like, be the grounding for him. Like when he's having a freak out, I know this is hard. Don't feed into, kind of like a child, right? You calm yourself and you're like, there's nothing to be afraid of. You know, it's all safe, we're safe. And then he'll just feed off of that and say, you know, come to me, invite him. You know, the most important thing I'm getting is, you know, you don't feed off of his energy. You say, you feed off of my energy. And this is how we're going to feel about those sounds. This is how we're going to feel about the energies, or as Louise was saying, the things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that, buddy. We can do that.
Louise,
Yeah.
did you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I got exactly the same thing. Just reassurance. I heard the word reassurance, and just touch him and reassure him that everybody is safe, everything's okay. And that will help him a lot.
Okay, we can do that. Easy. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Victoria.
Yeah.
And thank you, Banjo.
Yeah, just kidding.
Okay.
All right. All right, Louise, it's all yours.
Okay. All right. Well, I am being drawn to Cassidy. Cassidy, would you like a reading?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
All right,
Okay,
Louise,
Laura.
I'm jumping in with you.
Yay. Okay. All right. So Cassidy, what is the name and species and gender of your animal?
So my dog's name is Duke. He's a dog. I mentioned that, and he's a male.
Okay. And is he alive or in spirit?
He's alive.
He's alive. Okay. So Duke. Next to Duke. So as Duke is coming into my energetic space, he has a very big presence. He doesn't sneak into a room. Even if he's quiet about it, you know he's there. He's just got this enormous energy about him. Almost regal and very, he's very proper. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%.
So Duke shows up to me like I just saw Victoria's Newfie stick his nose in the camera. Duke shows up to me as this huge fuzzy, like this is the Bumble from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cartoons, like this great big furry hairy larger than life, and he's listing off the things that we don't believe actually exist: the Sasquatch, the Nessie, the Bumble, you know, all of these things that might be imaginary. It's almost like he's so large that people might not believe or realize that he's a real thing. This feels energetic to me, much more so than physical, but it's a thing. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, he's got a big personality.
And it's in his head. And even if he were this teeny tiny little like 4-pound Yorkie Chihuahua kitten mousy sort of thing, he's enormous in his head and in the way he presents himself.
Yeah, that's fitting.
What you get, Louise?
Yeah. What he wants wants me to know that in addition to being enormous, he's also very polite. He's really a gentleman. I'm getting a little bit of a knowing that he is more of a gentleman in his head than in his behavior. Like once in a while, he has a little goofiness, but for the most part, he really tries to be very polite and a perfect gentleman. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he's very serious. He doesn't have a lot of his puppy stage left, even though he's not very old. He is very polite, but sometimes he'll stomp around on us, but he doesn't mean any harm.
Yeah, he's a love. Anything else, Meredith?
No, I'm just seeing this great big like goofy love. I mean, just this enormous like do do do. I mean, it's so goofy, but so loving and so gentle.
Mhm.
It's kind of making me giggle a little, and it's making me feel real happy. Like I'd kind of like to kiss him on his lips.
Yeah, there's a real joy about him.
Good.
And do you have a question for Duke?
Is there anything that we can do to increase his happiness and comfort?
Okay. I guess, what do you think, Meredith? We could ask it just like that.
Yeah, we can. I would recommend shifting it just a tiny bit. What do you want us to know about how you feel about your happiness and comfort? Because we kind of like, if we present it like that, it's sort of a yes or no question.
Mhm.
So let's ask him what we can do to
Okay.
increase his happiness and comfort.
All right. That works, Cassidy?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Okay.
And Louise, pardon me, I'm going to jump right in. What he shows me immediately is this enormous yacht, like super fancy. I don't know how big yachts go, but it's a big one, and he's like, I like living large, he feels like so what I'm seeing is this yacht versus Gilligan's Island. I don't know if any of you remember Gilligan's Island. So we've got this little bitty boat on a 3-hour tour, and we've got this great big yacht. And he's like, that not so much. This is all the things. He feels like he sort of believes that the fancy things are going to bring him happiness, even though he doesn't really know the difference between a canoe versus a 100 and whatever foot yacht. He's like, yeah, I'm taking that one. Does that make sense to you, Cassidy?
Yeah, we were just talking about buying a new car, and that Duke doesn't want like a Toyota. He wants a Lexus.
Yeah, he doesn't want Gilligan's Island. He wants a yacht. Yeah.
Yes, and that goes for everything. And the first thing that he showed me was this big fancy bed, but the whole overarching theme is it has to be enormous. Like everything he wants has to be enormous, more space, a large bed, everything in his world wants to be as big as he is to match his enormous personality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Feel like your question was answered?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have anything else, Meredith?
No, it just feels to me like he's just showing us that he likes the fancy things. He likes bigger. He thinks bigger is better. And I will say, Cassidy, I think this is going to be something that will shift for him as he gets a little more context of his place in the world. The bigger house is not the better house. The bigger boat is not the better boat. The bigger car is not the better car. But in his moment, this is what he thinks he wants. So I would encourage you to maybe watch for the shift.
Okay.
When he gets a little older and he's like, oh, okay. That wasn't all that important to me.
Yeah.
But in the moment, that's what he thinks that thing is.
Okay. Gotcha.
Does that feel complete to you, Louise?
Yes.
Cassidy?
Yeah. Definitely.
Duke?
Thank you, Duke.
Awesome.
Cassidy.
Thank you very much. So this is the point where I say we are about to wrap up raffle ticket sales. Remember that all 4 of your ACC team members plus our founder have donated half-hour readings to be raffled off. So if you haven't bought a raffle ticket, if you think you might want another one, Jump on and do that right now because we're going to wrap those up like super, super quick over the course of the next reading. All right, we've got time for a couple of more. I am going to make the next selection, and I would like to read with Heather. Heather Tulla. Yay! I'm super excited about that. My little cartoon Mickey Mouse hand is now over because I moved people around on my screen. It's now over the face of Autumn.
That's the name I was actually drawn to as well. What?
Autumn,
Hi.
how do you feel about having a reading with us this evening?
I would like that. Thank you.
Would you like it? Okay,
Yeah.
we're good then. Let me move you up in the center. One more sticky note. Autumn. What is your animal's name? Actually, yeah. What is your animal's name?
Buffy, Buffy.
The Vampire Slayer jumped
Yes.
into my head immediately.
Yeah, that's where she got her name.
So what kind of animal is Buffy?
She is a dog,
Female?
female and alive.
Alive. So I'm taking my pen and I'm drawing lines across my tiny sticky note, like over and over and over. I'm feeling the need to create this same connection over and over and over, like learning the same thing over and over. I don't know what this means, but I've literally drawn like super dark scratches across my piece of paper. It feels very important to trace the same path, the same line, the same thing over and over. It feels like structure. Does that make sense to you in any way?
It does.
Okay. What you getting, Heather?
I don't know what she looks like in real life, but I got like if Buffy, the Vampire Slayer actual character, was a dog, it was of course blonde, but this girl was just came in karate chopping everything. But the thing is the energy feels like very boingy, boing, boing, not like, it just says she's just going nonstop. And mission, I heard mission. I'm on a mission. And it's kind of, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to describe it. She's just like in my space, she's not stopping. She's just bull, 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 go, go, go. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but and what it's in regards, if it's in regards to something else, like she's trying to tell me something, I'm not sure. So does that make sense to you in personality wise? And it's okay to be a no, Autumn. Don't try to make it fit.
Not so much personality, but the environment around her.
Okay, hold on then. I'll try. She's obviously, instead of personality, she started trying to tell me something. So Meredith, can I take a moment to try to figure out what she's trying to say?
Absolutely. And do you mind if I jump in while you do that?
Please do so.
Okay. So I also have a background in dog training and primarily in behavior modification. And I was drawn to that because of a dog that I love dearly, who lived with me for many, many years. But the information that I'm receiving that is pinging this experience for me is a very compulsive behavior. It's like doing the same thing over and over, focusing on the same thing, hypervigilance, my dog would chase a tennis ball until he literally could not run anymore and fell over. Like there's something that this dog feels very focused on that seems to be calming for her. Let me ask for the right words here. There's a drive, there's a commitment, there's a desire, there's a something that she feels is very poignant for her and is very focused for her. Does that feel like her personality in any way whatsoever? And it's almost making my heart race a little bit.
It does. It also goes to, I had a little bit of a question because she's not a very expressive dog. You know, some dogs, you know, they're happy, sad, everything. She doesn't express much.
I'm short of breath. There's something that she would like to express to you that she needs you to know that's giving her a little bit of, I don't want to say anxiety, but it's almost like the kid in the back seat going, Mom, 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 I got to tell you this, Mom, Mom. And you turn around and you go, what? And they're like, oh, never mind. Because they felt a little judged by wanting to tell you. Not judged. Okay, Heather, you go ahead. I'm going to jump back in and ask what this is about, but it's definitely a desire to say something without a knowing of how to actually say it.
Everything you're saying, Meredith, made sense to what I was seeing, because I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen a dog starting to do, you know, with the character, but it was purposeful and she wouldn't stop. And I heard that mission and it sounded exactly like what you're saying. But she said, she went like this, she pointed and she said, she's saying to Autumn, ask the question, ask the question. So she really much, Autumn, go ahead and ask. Was that the question? What is your question?
My question was, because she isn't very expressive. I mean, I do the best I can, but she's just kind of this dog that's there and she doesn't express a lot. So I don't know how she's feeling.
Okay. How do we restate that, Meredith? It's so funny that that's your question. And she and I are getting such intense emotion, like from her. And we're both getting that.
So really your question, Autumn, is she's not very expressive. How do I know what she's thinking?
Thinking,
And
feeling.
And feeling. And what she wants to ask you is, what do you need to know about how she's thinking and feeling, and how is she expressing that to you? Okay, that's a very broad, open-ended question, Heather. I'm so overwhelmed and so like bubbling over. I'm a pot boiling over right now. She wants to show you and tell you so much that I'm having a hard time paring it down to what is the question. Heather, can you do that for me? This feels very personal to me. It feels like something I've been through.
So are we keeping the are we keeping the question to the same that you just said? Is that, but you just want me to kind of go in?
Yeah, go ahead and state it the way you want to ask it, and I will jump back in.
Okay.
I had a little emotion coming through there for a second. Let me manage my energy.
How about this? I would like to ask her, let's see, to answer, how can Autumn, mommy, understand your expressions and emotions and things? The thing is every dog is different, right? And of course she's showing it somehow, but she may be doing it in a different way that is not typical dog, right? Mm-hmm. So is that okay if I ask it in that way? What can,
yeah.
Okay, so what can Autumn, how can we help Autumn get to know your emotional cues and states of mind? And
Heather, do you mind if I jump in?
Go for it.
Okay. So Autumn, I just keep being brought back to this like super focused. I'm hearing laser pointed behavior, and I'm actually seeing a laser, you know, the laser pointers that a lot of people will play with dogs with. I'm seeing reflections off of a watch or a ring or lights, or I'm seeing a lot of distractions that really cause Buffy to hone in and get hyper focused is what I'm hearing. And it feels to me like she's trying to show me something that you need to know. Like maybe maybe this is something that you deal with in your life as well. You pick a project and that's the thing that has to happen now. Or here's a picture over here and that's the thing. She's showing me this part of her attention that feels like you need to be aware of it. I don't have any idea what I'm saying. Does that make any sense to you?
It does.
Okay.
A lot.
It's making me feel very anxious and a little bit short of breath. Like these are things, this is a whole lot of supposed to that she's feeling that's making me feel like I got to keep up with that. Okay. Heather, what you got?
I feel like I am not, like I said before, I'm not a stereotypical dog behavior. You know how you get an animal and you'll be like, my dog acts like a cat or vice versa, right? There's that. And then so I don't fit in the confines of a typical dog behavior. And then I feel, so there's that. And then the second part is Autumn, not, of course, not on purpose, but she's just missing that cue because she knows dog language. And there's like a wall up. So it's not because it's not because you're not efforting. It's not because you're not trying to understand your dog, right? But there's this two part where she doesn't act like a typical dog. So you kind of got to get to know her on her own level, or what her personality wise, more like a personality thing. Yeah, personality feels like the correct word. And then there's that wall of, and that kind of goes with our soul level lessons, but we don't have time to do a whole soul level lesson. So there's a part of you, and a blockage that just is not an unknown part of you that's just not letting yourself connect in that way.
I got to say, Autumn and Heather, this feels like a tough one. This feels like a whole lot of like vibrational energy that's rising, 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 rising. It feels, I think I said this earlier, it feels like a pot about to boil over and you're trying to catch it. It just feels like a lot of intense energy. And I'm feeling the need to step back and take a breath and go, okay, let me pay attention to this for just a second and see where it takes me. It just feels like I'm hearing lasagna, like this is building on this and this is building on this and this is happening now. And what do I do here? And what do I do here? And it's all building up. And if you just go back down to the base layer, go back down to the ground for just a moment, it can wind that clock backwards and wind that energy down.
Okay.
I have no idea what this means. Does it make sense to you?
It does. Yeah.
And Autumn, I don't want to get too personal and stuff, but this is actually a common thing. So I'm just going to say it because it's honestly everybody. There's like a little bit of beating myself up. You know, why can't I get this dog? Why don't I understand this dog? I should understand this dog. I'm shooting on myself. Does that make sense? That feels like the wall. When you should on yourself, that actually shuts down intuition, right?
Yeah.
And I do it every day. Everybody does it every day, all day, everybody. And so what is not really that big of a deal, like this dog doesn't act like a dog, you know, anyways, this dog doesn't act like a dog. It's not that big of a deal, except that it's like giving myself a hard time over it. And if you can find a way to just let yourself give yourself a break there, that may open up the intuition. And intuition will actually help the physical expressions. You know, this dog does this, but this dog does this for the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, we went way over time, but
Thank
We
you,
did.
guys.
But Autumn, I would love to know, can you give me like one point of feedback? Because there was so much happening there. There's clearly a huge message. Do you have like one point of feedback that you can give to us about what any of that
Yes.
meant to you?
What I took from what you guys said, and I didn't realize this until you said it, and then I thought, of course, I think she's reacting more to my energy. And as soon as you drew that line, I kind of felt like she's a very observant dog of her environment, and she's reflecting me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. It just feels so powerful, but all I could say was I don't really know. And so I could feel some of that going on. We're getting ready to wrap up. Can you believe it? So no more raffles ticket sales. If you've bought your raffles, we're going to be pulling those in just a minute. I think we've got time for one more reading and then a little quick wrap up. So Julie, why don't you and Louise do the final reading, and then we'll close out our evening.
Cool. Awesome. Louise, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So Louise, I'm drawn to Melina.
Sounds good.
Okay. Melina, are you interested in having an animal communication reading tonight?
I am.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Melina, why don't you go ahead and tell us the name of your animal?
Diego, male dog, alive.
Male dog alive, but I didn't catch the name. Could you say it one more time?
Diego.
Diego. Okay. I thought so, but it cut out just a little bit on my end. So, all right. Louise.
Okay. Let's connect with Diego.
Okay. So when I connect in with Diego, he's showing me himself as like a smaller dog. And I see this like bing, 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 bing. And then he comes right back, bing, bing, bing. And I just see like him moving that way, like right in front of the screen. And I even get like a pause. And then he very methodically turns around, and he also does the side eye, like, are you watching me? Are you watching me? Can you see this, right? You see
He's
how
doing
cute I
that
am.
right now. Oh my God.
Awesome. Awesome. Louise, what are you getting?
Yeah, when he comes into my space, he's got this like swagger kind of. It's almost like he ought to have a cigarette in one hand. He's really Joe Cool. Yeah, and same deal. I hope everyone's watching me because I'm totally cool. Does that make sense, Melina?
It does.
Yeah.
And Louise, when you were saying that, like, then he showed me him with like a really cool cowboy hat and like a gun belt. And I hear like gunslinger, and I'm all of this and pow, 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 pow,
Yeah.
pow.
That's pretty much how I saw it, only it looked more like it was a big hat. It was a big, huge hat. Yeah, big, huge hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything else Diego wants to share about his personality.
Yeah, he's quite a character.
Yeah. Yeah. He's showing me, I heard the phrase Rico Suave, which I just know is a song from the 80s. And then I see him do the Tom Cruise slide from Risky Business when he's in his underwear, but he's got the socks on, and he's very, for me, like, he's just really wants to focus on how awesomely cool he is. So Louise, I don't know if you're getting anything else.
Yeah, just I think one last thing, he's kind of like putting his eyebrows up and down, like one eyebrow down, one eyebrow up, like see how slick I am, see how cool I am. Yeah, he's quite funny.
Yeah. Does that all make sense to you, Melina?
It does.
Awesome. Cool. He really, I feel like too, the eyebrow thing, Louise, he really wants to get to the question, because he's like, uh-oh. I feel like, uh-oh, something's coming up now. I'm gonna have to act responsibly, is what I hear him say. So we should ask the question, I think. Melina, what question do you have for Diego?
I guess just mainly what other people say. If he's happy,
I just recently got rescued another dog. And he tends to kind of sometimes be more on the jealous side. So I just wanted to make sure that he was happy.
Well, I'll just say when you were talking, like usually when the humans talk, the animals start responding. So when you said, is he happy? I heard cha cha cha. And like, yes, very happy. But then what was interesting was when you talked about the other dog. I feel like the question needs to be, and Louise, let's shape this. Like, how do you feel about the new dog?
Yeah, or what's your relationship like with the new dog or something like
That's
that?
yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it totally should be about the dog,
Okay.
the other dog.
Yeah, so yep. Yeah, so how about Diego, how can you help us understand how your relationship is with this new dog? Because that pulls in what you were saying, Louise. Does that make sense?
That works, Melina?
Okay, Melina, work for you? Good. Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
I suddenly feel a little shy, if that makes sense. Like,
it does.
this, like, I'm not quite sure. Do you want me to be near you? Don't. No. Yes. No. Yes. I feel that.
That's crazy. Yes. He's like that with him.
Okay. Louise, I saw Louise smile too. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm feeling a little bit like he sort of would like to be playful with this dog. He shows himself kind of hip checking the dog, like, come on, I'm really cool and I can play. But there is a little bit of a hesitancy there too, for sure.
Definitely there is.
But I think he would like to play with this new dog. He's just a little bit unsure of how to proceed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Melina, Diego makes me feel like this other dog might be a little larger than he is. Is that the case by chance?
With another, so I have 4 dogs. So with another dog, but this one is smaller.
Okay, interesting. Okay, because makes me feel like I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to do harm. I don't want to, like, I'm just not quite sure. Like, it feels very physical. Like, I'm not 100% sure what I can do, what I can't do. And so it felt to me like the other dog was larger, but.
So he's a little bit larger than the other one, and he tends to make the other one cry if he's too playful. So I have to yell at him.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So I do get this physical aspect, like not quite sure how to engage. Louise, I could see you smile. So you got
just as Melina was saying, you have to yell at him. As soon as you said that, he showed himself right down, laying down.
Oh, I think Louise froze. Here, we'll wait just a second and see. All right.
Like, okay, I'm not doing anything. I'm not hurting him. I'm not doing anything to the dog. Nope.
Nope, you're back, Louise. I think you might want to say what you got.
Okay. I was just saying that he, as soon as you said, Melina, that you had to scold him for being too rough, he laid right down. And and I was getting annoying that he really wants to do the right thing. He wants everybody to get along together and play, but he isn't 100% sure how to proceed.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that answer your question, Melina?
It does.
Okay. Yeah, just like what Louise is saying, he really wants, I hear him say, like, I really want everybody to get along. I want everyone to fit in and feel welcome. He's just not a little bit sure. So however you can encourage him to, well, it feels more like he's saying, well, like, just to help her, the new dog, whichever the new dog is, just maybe a little bit more time and help the new dog kind of get acclimated.
Yeah, he's very much like that. I have 4 dogs and he's the most like gentle and wanting to make all of them happy.
Awesome. Oh, he's wonderful. Yeah. Anything else, Louise, you need to share from Diego?
No, I think we covered it.
All right. Great. Well, thank you so much, Melina, for sharing Diego with all of us.
Thank you.
Whoa, Meredith.
Awesome. Well, that that wraps up our last reading. We're at time. It's hard to believe that evenings go so quickly when we do this. It's so much fun. I hope that everyone's had a good time, a good evening. All of our contact information has been in the chat. If you were not selected for reading, or even if you were and you'd like more information, you should be able to reach out to any of us in the future. And just so you know, if you are interested in learning more and you book a reading with any of us between now and December 15th, we will make a donation back to the Animal Pad in your name and in your honor. So great opportunity. Lauren, are you going to pull the raffle winners?
I am. Also,
We don't have any guinea pigs.
I know, and I'm so sorry I'm not a guinea pig, honestly. But yeah, I wanted to piggyback on what you said really quickly, because we brought it up during one of our meetings that this would also be like a very cool holiday gift for somebody. So I plan on getting a few for close people in my life who I think would really love this. And with that comes a donation back to the rescue until the 15th of December. So we'll probably be following up to remind everybody if you're interested in that. But I'm super excited for that. Thank you guys so much. I want to tell you, thank you again. That was so interesting to just watch and be a part of. And knowing some of the dogs that were picked, it feels really spot on for a lot of them, which was super cool. And I'm like getting text messages like, oh my gosh, Natalie and I were talking and she's like, does that not feel so much like Foster? And it's like, yes, it totally did. So really cool. Thank you guys so much. And I'm also sorry, I'm sitting in like the pitch black. My light just decided to burn out like 2 days ago. So we're all doing well. We're all doing well here. But okay, we're going to do the raffle. We have 5 prizes to give out that are the readings, 30-minute sessions with the ladies here. So I'll pick names. I have everyone put into the random generator. If you got 9 tickets, you're in here 9 times. If you got 3, you're in here 3 times. So I've got everybody down. We'll do this for 5 right now. And then I believe we're probably going to follow up with all the winners to be able to get you all set up the way that we need. So, okay, I'm selecting the first one and you can't see me do it, but I promise I'm doing everything legit. Pearl here is my witness. First winner is Ashley Zeckman, and she's not on the call, but I'm going to write, she couldn't make it. So she bought a ton of tickets because she wanted to be a part of it. So I'm going to write.
I love that we hear the applause in the background.
Oh yeah.
It's
good. It's happening. It's absolutely happening. Okay. And then I'm going to remove her. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, if we pick her again, we'll just re-go. Okay. So number 2 coming up is Ellen L. I don't know if Ellen's on here either. No. Okay, I'm gonna write that down too.
Lauren, did you say Pearl is there with you?
Yeah, Pearl's here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of you, I think I've told a lot of you that when we were doing a meeting talking about this event, they tuned in with Pearl a little bit, and it was really eye-opening and super cool, and just a good experience. And at that point, I didn't know anything about what she was trying to tell me because I had known her for a few hours. And everything that you guys said to me was really kind of spot on in that I really quickly learned what she wants of me, and also just like kind of our communication styles. And she's a little dog with distemper survivor, we hope, but she is not a mobile dog. She's mobile in that she like wiggle worms all around my house, but her legs don't work. She's also a product of really bad breeding. She's a mini doodle and just really shouldn't have been bred at all the way she is, but I freaking love her, and she eats like a horse, and everything you guys recommended she's loved. And yeah, she's just a really sweet dog, and we're trying to get her strong, but she is showing no signs of stopping. So that's kind of how we do things here. For those of you that volunteer and know, like, we are all in until the dogs tell us that they aren't themselves. So and she's a spitfire, man. She cusses me out all the time. She tells me that I'm doing everything wrong when I'm making her dinner and I'm not going quick enough. So like yeah, she's really special, but I felt so comforted with you guys tuning in and kind of connecting with her, because that was kind of what I needed in that moment to feel like I could move forward with her. And we have developed a really beautiful relationship and I love her. She's a very sweet dog. So thank you guys. That just connected me even more and just made me feel really sweet. Oh, Erica said that's her mom, Ellen. Okay, perfect. Cool. So we are going for number 3 right now. Kenzie. I know Kenzie's here. Woo! Okay, cool. So
That's so funny. I was looking straight at Mackenzie when you called that.
that's so funny. Okay, 2 more.
I love the suspense. Lauren's like in total darkness.
I know. I'm like, this is so embarrassing, but it's fine. We're all friends here. Lexi M, who is not on the call to my knowledge either. I'll write her down. And then last one. Lexi M. Okay. Last one. Oh my God, it's Kenzie again. Sorry, girl. We're going one more.
Look, Kenzie's like, I won twice. What?
I know. Sorry, Kenzie. Got to share the wealth a little bit.
You know what's awesome is had we had time for another reading, I was being drawn to Kenzie as well. So this is, I'm excited to see that this way.
And then last one is Rochelle H, which I also don't think's on the call. That's okay. I'm glad they'll get to experience it too. So, okay, perfect. I'm going to, Michelle's going to reach out, I believe, to everybody who won. So Kenzie, you'll hear from us. And then Erica, your mom will hear from us. And then everybody else will just get emails.
And we'll be like, hi, you're Erica's mom.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you.
They're like, wow, you guys are really good. You knew I was Erica's mom.
So I want to thank everyone who's here tonight. I love how this intimate experience has gone. And thank you so much for sharing yourselves and your animals with us. Lauren, as the sole representative this evening, do you have anything you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Yes, I actually have a note. Hold on. Let me make sure I covered all the things that I was supposed to cover before I say, yeah, you can learn more about all the ladies tonight at animalcommunicationcollective.com. I think that's over here in the chat. And then, yeah, if you're interested, 15% donations of any readings booked now through December 15th. That's something, if you want to know how to book, you can also look over here in the chat, or you can contact any of us and we will be able to send you in the right direction. But just thank you so much. Thank you to the ladies from ACC. This is just super fun. I hope we can do more of these too. And I also like the smaller group and think that it's just fun and it gives more people the opportunity to get to be engaged. So I like that a lot. But thank you to everybody who bought tickets to come, because as you know, we are never we're never lacking dogs to rescue. And the only way we can do that is through donations. And so I hope that this was fun for you guys and it was a good way for you to spend your money, but also to support the rescue at the same time. So we really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope we can do another one for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Lauren. It's been a joy to work with you and all of your colleagues. Thank you to all of my ACC colleagues. It's been a joy to work with you, as it always is. And we hope to see you guys back again for another event.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to.
Wonderful. Everyone have a wonderful evening. We hope Karina gets off the side of the road.
Yeah.
And
yes. She said that she's hoping that they're on their way. So I think that the juju worked and she's hopefully getting exactly where she needs to go now.
Well, good, because I'm hearing that Marnie and Carrie are pissed.
Yeah, I mean, they thought that this was going to be about them. So we will definitely have to do this again because they were definitely ready to pull those raffle tickets.
I know, with all their little costumes and everything.
I know,
Yeah.
so good, so good.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah,
And thank you
thank you,
to
guys.
all of you who came out to join us this evening. See you soon.